It's actually been pretty quiet the last few weeks. We had a real flurry of activity at the start of the year. We recorded the album in January, February, March. Released it in April. We had lots of promotional stuff to do with that. We played a big show in Maroon 5 in April. We did a tour in Lebanon in May. We did another couple of gigs in early June, I think. The last 4 weeks we've been concentrating on some new material, writing some new songs, and it's obviously Ramadan's coming up, so everything's going to kind of wind down for a while, but we're going to concentrate on writing some new material. And then we've got some shows coming up in the autumn. So. Well, there's a couple of brand new songs on the record which really only came together, late last year, which have gone down really well. There's Without You and Run To Me particularly have been very well received. We may release Without You next, we're still deciding on that, but it's had some really good press. We'll probably have to do something with it to make it a bit more radio friendly. But no, people have been very kind. You know, the sound has changed a lot. The band has evolved a lot over the last year, and we've been focusing on trying to just find our own sound and our own sort of stride of it. And I think we're really getting there with this sort of full, big, melodic rock sound, which people seem to like it. It's nice. Yeah.
I mean, I think the chemistry is definitely there. It's taken us quite a while to find the balance and have a writing process that's very simple and easy and just very natural. But I think we're good friends and we enjoy each other's company, so that's the most important thing, I think.
It's difficult because there are bands that we make sound a bit like and that we listen to. I suppose if you want to pick it on that level, it's quite simple. You listen to Foo Fighters and Muse and yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a whole lot, but actually, what influences us is not really other people's music. It's ideas and it's people, relationships, art, music, and love and stuff. That's what gets us. But we sound like other rock bands because we've grown up in the rock genre. I mean, the music business is a business, and you've got to think about what you're putting out there. But actually, when you're sitting down and writing a song, you're not really thinking about whether it's going to go on an album or a single or an EP or a video or whatever. You're just enjoying the process, and when it comes out, comes out. We'll probably write 20 songs for the next record, and only select 10 or 11 or 12 of them. The rest will go into B-sides.
Yeah. I mean, it's only a process. We don't write for anything. We just write because we're musicians. We play music, but also sometimes we kind of hit a wall when we try to write, and we try to avoid such kind of situations and try to get inspired by what's around us. And once we're inspired, we don't hold it back. We don't look for a reason to write. We just write when we can. So. It's a very complicated matrix, I must say.
Spreadsheets.
We've developed this program that 010. No, I'm just kidding. It's just different ideas that we bounce off each other. I mean, it could be that James is a drummer, but he also is a great keyboard player or piano player. And sometimes we're hanging out here, we're writing stuff. Sometimes individually we'd be working on different ideas. We would get it together in the studio. It's very, very dynamic, and we don't follow a certain method. But we are very harsh on ourselves, and we definitely, something doesn't sound like it belongs to us. We're brave enough to say, well, even if we've invested enough, like a lot of time on it, just forget it. And it's been.
Yeah, it's funny how little things. It doesn't really matter who brings it. Someone will bring a germ of an idea. Sometimes it dies on the floor because everyone looks at it. And we got this song at the moment, which is untitled, and it starts with a sort of, actually, Dia and I, not for any reason, just happened to work that way. And it's a very kind of identifiable drum beat. It's almost like a Queen style drum beat. And for some reason that worked really well, but one passage of the song worked brilliantly. Another passage of it was good, but didn't really seem to completely kick off. So we could just go out there and play the song now, virtually, but it's not quite, there's something that's not still quite right about it. And what will happen is it'll just sit there for a while, and then we'll go back to it after a few weeks in rehearsal. Someone's killing a dog. And someone will play a chord wrong, or they'll do something, something will happen, and it just a little spark and bang, that's it, it'll just start into place. Because it's a really good song, and there's I think we've got 3 or 4 really good potential songs already coming through for the next record. Bearing in mind we only put this one to bed a couple of months ago, we've been gigging it fairly heavily, so it's all right. It's just trying to find time and space for it. But it's a classic cliche. The second record. I mean, this is not actually the second record the band's made, but it's the second major album, and it's a cliche that you have your whole life to write your first record. Every idea you've ever had goes into your first record, and then they expect the second one to come along in 3 months. So we'll see. But there's some pretty good stuff coming through.
There's a couple of interesting shows in the region, in Dubai as well, with international bands, and we're also trying to focus on breaking through the specifically American market. We've already had if you like, the first step into the market through the LA Times. They've had a feature on us, and hopefully we're just trying to push a bit more over there as well and expand to different regions.
I mean, we've been very lucky. The UAE is a small market, but there are a lot, because of where it is and the money that's here. A lot of international bands come through here, and we're lucky enough to be in a position where we get asked to open up for them. And actually, that's amazing for a band in our position, just kind of in the foothills of what we hope is a successful career, to be asked to play in front of 30,000 people for Guns N' Roses or 10,000 for Maroon 5 is awesome. You don't get that opportunity generally if you're in the UK or the US. So it's been really good to us, but we've got to recognise that there's only so far you can go in this market before you're just repeating the same old tricks. We've got some great radio plays, some good MTV plays, we've done some good gigs, and now it's time to try and take that next step and push out to another market.
Okay.
So it takes a long time to emerge and create a brand or a name to yourself, but just don't give up. If this is what you want to do, then keep working on it.
And enjoy it for what it is. It doesn't matter if you're successful or people buy your records or they don't buy your records. It doesn't matter. If you enjoy it and it means something to you, and other people get a kick out of it, brilliant. Keep doing it. It's fun.